Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and into the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. The New Orleans Pelicans changing their roster dramatically, and understandably so. Drastic times call for drastic measures, and they've brought in a couple of new players to be certain it's going to look a lot different. Solomon Hill, of course, comes in. Etuan Moore comes in as well. And departing, Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon, Alonzo G., among others. The roster is going to continue to change. And, Lenny, this was essential based upon where they finished last year, not just because of injuries, but it's obvious that this team was nowhere near being where it needed to be to contend for anything.
Yeah, and I think it was going to be hard to keep those guys that you had based on the market value they were going to get out there. And what you really needed is to fill some roles. And the things that you're hearing about, the two additions, you lump them in with the draft picks and stuff, is you're seeing some energy, some character, some ability to play on the defensive end that you lump it together with the pieces that you have coming back. And again, that's not all set in stone at this point. We could still see some trades and such and some other moves that can still happen in this. Different is going to be good because obviously what you put out there last year wasn't great. I understand the injuries, but change in this situation I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I do too. And I think, with regard to the guys they brought in, they've improved their defense. I'm not sure they've improved their offense overall. Etuan Moore can shoot the three. He's a nice job of a guy that can really caddy for Buddy Hield, frankly, and maybe even play a few minutes in reserve at the number one guard position as well. And then with regard to Hill, good in the playoffs last year against Toronto, young in the league, only 3 years, and he's a good on-the-ball defender too. The downside is he really didn't play a whole lot last year and really doesn't shoot the ball that well, and you really want your three to be a guy that can score. That's something they've lacked here for quite some time, really since Peja Stojakovic.
Yeah, that's, continues to be a struggle, but guys like that get paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Well, then again, everyone gets paid a lot of money suddenly in the new NBA where the salary cap has gone up. And the thing to remember about the cap is not only is there a cap, but there's a floor. So everybody's got to get to $85 million. And so you've got guys who, you wonder, how is this person making this kind of money? That's why, because they timed it right, if they will, and, landed as a free agent at this time of year. And there's some guys making a lot of money out there. And again, everything's not done at this point. So it's, there's still some moves to be made to get teams where they want to be. Most notably, the Warriors are going to probably have to get some things done. It's going to be interesting to see where all these dominoes fall over the course of the next few days.
Yeah, that was my next line. Stay tuned because I think there's more to come, including with the Pelicans. We shall see. The Tulane baseball coaching search continues, and the suspicion is that they're going to get something done maybe within a week's time because the timetable was a short one to begin with Troy Downing, and it's not like he approached this in total shock. He had to know that this was a possibility for quite some time with all of the speculation surrounding David Pierce at Texas, and there's no doubt he had to have a short list.
Well, he said as much, and obviously David Pierce first interviewed in mid-June for a job that he finally accepted last week, so there was a big 2-week gap in there that Troy Downing had a chance to start getting his list together and be ready in the event that this opening presented itself. So the opening is there. Clearly, he has done some due diligence on the front end. You did a great job last week at suggesting who some of the candidates might be. In my mind, it comes down to this. Do you get somebody who's a head coach from out of the area with no ties, or do you get somebody who's got either Louisiana or Tulane ties? And that in my mind, therein lies the real decision in all of this. And we mentioned, Tulane hasn't hired a Tulane guy, a real Tulane guy, since Benny Allender in football back in 1970. 46 years later, could we finally see a change of that? Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's quite possible based upon the guys that are available and who they might be considering. We shall see. The New Orleans Zephyrs at home for the next couple of days had their July 4th game, Independence Day, with fireworks, and they won a game, and that's important. Probably most notably that they won a game. That seems to get lost at times, but standings-wise, they're still a little bit under 500.
6.5 out right now. The good news is when they finish up with Round Rock, they head to Nashville, who's leading the division, so you've got a chance to make some hay in terms of gaining ground on the top spot in the division. You look at this. The good news for the Zephyrs is you get a chance to play a lot at home after the All-Star break. 35 out of 55 games after the break will be at home, starting with the Thursday after the break, a week from Thursday when Fresno comes to town. Oh, by the way, Alex Bregman hit 2 more home runs for Fresno last night, 4 home runs in 5 games. The fast track that he's on, could he possibly get called up before Fresno even gets to town a week from Thursday? I guess it might be a reach, but anything's possible.
Yeah, you never know, but certainly by September.
Yeah, you would think he's going to get a look when it comes September, certainly, and it's deserved based on his performance at AA and now at AAA.
Yeah, he's really been good. Of course, our high school football previews continue on a daily basis at SportsNOLA.com. We encourage you to check those out as we're getting closer to the start of the high school season. Just under 2 months away from the start of the regular season, and less than that concerning Jamboree. So looking forward to it, I think.
Don't forget scrimmages. Start of practice. It'll be here in a month, basically.
Yeah, and we'll be all over it. And, of course, we should mention also that Xavier is introducing a new basketball coach today, and we'll have full coverage of that as well.
Good news. Xavier brings one of their own home, and that's always a good thing. And again, full coverage coming up. Ro Brown will have the story for us later today.
Look forward to that. That's our First NBC Bank Weekend Review, brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout the greater New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNOLA.com. He's Lenny. I'm Kenny. Have a great week, and God bless you.